No. No. Too much art. Too little time.
In a world where art goes on sale.
Good. It was just a dream.
Did you dream about another art sale?
Yeah. You were there. You had a giant chainsaw, and you were slashing prices left and right.
Did it include your drawing basics course and my perspective course?
Everything, Marshall. No course or tool was safe.
Stan, that was no dream.
Don't sleep on these deals. Save 20% on all courses and tools during Proko's Black Friday sale. From now until December 4th.
It's so good. It's catching the light on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes
All
me
right.
look better than Hugh Hefner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream. So you guys got to watch Stan in one of his most embarrassing moments where...
No, I love that. That's like one of my favorite ads ever.
So yeah, today we are brought here to live stream. Stan is going to be showing us some of his process for doing figure drawing, correct, Stan?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we were talking about like some different focuses for figure drawing.
Well, it's going to be figure drawing, but I'm going to take it from you guys. Maybe take a poll. Like, what do you guys want me to focus on first? Gesture, structure, anatomy, shading?
Okay.
Those four. Let's pick from those four.
Gesture, anatomy, structure, and shading. In the meantime, tell me where you guys are coming from right now.
I'm from San Diego.
Well, by way of
originally from Ukraine. I lived in Chicago for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What are your
While you
hobbies?
guys are my hobby, I like to draw.
Okay.
I like to teach.
What bands do you like?
What bands do I like? I like all kinds of bands. Let's just start drawing.
Yeah,
a bit.
so
While they're taking the poll, I'm gonna just start drawing this pose. So I'm using the Proko timer tool.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, we got keyboard shortcuts now. Look at that. Just press the space bar. All right, I'm just gonna draw the torso while they're telling me what else I want to draw. So I'm gonna focus on little proportions. So rhythm of the shoulder. That's kind of like super important up here for this pose. Is that shoulder to be coming up and covering his head, and then really exaggerated sweep back, and then like that down the lower back.
Would you say that 10 minutes is normal amount of time that you would take for a figure drawing session?
Oh, it varies quite a bit. Figure drawing session, if I'm doing a full page pose, I mean, 3 hours is not out of the ordinary.
Okay.
If I'm doing a quick sketch, it's anywhere between 1 minute to 10 minutes. I could do 20-minute lay-ins, and that's usually if I want to do full page and kind of just practice that initial setup for a long drawing. So it's like you're practicing those 3-hour drawings, but you're only doing the first 20 minutes of it each time.
That makes sense.
And that's just because those first 20 minutes of a long drawing are so important, critical.
Yeah.
So
do you want to know the results here, Stan? For your poll?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So the winner of the poll is gesture. Second place,
Woo!
anatomy. Third place, structure. Shading. Last place.
Is last. Okay. So gestural anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm doing here. So you see the rhythms that I'm pushing on the muscles. So I'm not drawing any details, but I'm trying to find interesting shapes and how they interlock in a gestural way. And gestural doesn't always mean like very curvy where you have to push S curves everywhere. Look at the arm. I pushed a straight through it, right? Because the arm is locked. He's going like that, and I want to show stability and strength in that arm. And also just maybe motion. And sometimes a straight line can show more motion than a curve. But then on the other side, I'm just trying to exaggerate a little bit of the musculature. Otherwise, it'll look like a really boring hand,
Mhm.
or sorry, not, a really boring arm.
Listen, I wasn't going to judge you for this.
Yeah.
So we have a couple famous guests here in the chat.
Oh no.
So we got Dorian freaking Eaton himself.
Who is he eating? You said eat.
I've
Dorian
seen
eating?
I've seen those drawings of him like that he makes. He's eating.
It's the way you said it though. It's not.
He left no crumbs.
You left no crumbs.
6, 7.
Who said 6, 7?
Nobody
Kicked
did.
him out. Oh, you did.
I did. And
You
you
need,
make myself out.
you need to see yourself out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll ruin the layout of this.
I've heard enough of that.
Okay, so we've got some questions here that are kind of stacking up. Do you want to start taking questions or more walk through your process?
Sure. Go ahead and start with the questions, and I'll just throw in my thoughts as I want to.
Okay. So one question that we've got here from High Value Bum is, how do we deal with the background
Well,
in this situation?
in this situation, there is no background. Are we talking about like dealing with the background if you're doing like an illustration and you need to create like an environment and all that?
This is your chance, High Value Bum. You have just a few seconds to reply and add something in.
Yeah, hopefully you can respond quick enough.
The other question here is from Remote Ghost, if you want another.
No, I'll try to attempt a generic answer to that, not knowing any details. But like, so if we're talking about a figure drawing, sometimes you will have a background or some props, and I usually just think of it compositionally. Like, does it add any kind of compositional layout on my page? Like, if I need to balance out the figure, or I want to add a shadow area in an area where there's a big like cube thing or a table or chair or whatever, I'll add it in. But if I feel like it's distracting, I won't put it in. And I'm just talking about figure drawing sessions, like live drawing. If you're doing an illustration and the environment is critical to tell the story, then that's a whole nother topic that I don't think we should get into on here.
Yeah, that's its own whole stream.
Yeah,
there's different ways.
Yeah, and also it's just, how do you deal with it? It's like a vague question. Like, what's your problem? What's the problem you're having? You have a hard time with perspective. You know, if you're having a hard time creating that sense of three-dimensional form, then, well, I'll tell you to go take perspective classes.
If people wanted to do that, where could they do that, Stan?
Proko.com. Marshall finally started his perspective course.
Like, that has been going for like a year now.
It's been going for a year, but it was not going for 12 years. So
yeah,
it is a big deal.
Okay, so we have another good question here from OM asking, what's the difference between a rhythm and a gesture?
A rhythm is a much more specific type of line. So a rhythm, like you see how I found the rhythm over here of this whole area, right? Like from here all the way over the triceps down here. That's like a rhythm line. Finding the rhythm line of the back and into here, that S curve is a rhythm line. So basically rhythms connect multiple things together, and you can call a single line a rhythm. Gesture is much more than that. It's not necessarily a line or connection between things. It's just the expression, the story that's happening. A lot of people use those words interchangeably, but like, I think technically gesture is a much broader term. It captures more than just the rhythm. It captures the story, the interaction of the full-on forms. So you can add gesture to a three-dimensional form. You don't really add a rhythm to it. A rhythm, in the way I use it, is it's a line. So I hope that makes sense. They're related. There's a lot of overlap there. Or actually, it's not just overlap. Rhythm is completely encompassed in gesture, but then there's more to gesture.
Yeah, it's like the all rectangles, squares,
Yeah.
These things.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we've got a couple other questions in here. This person really wants to know. They've asked a few times, Stan. I want your opinion on this one, not what the overall art rule is.
Okay.
Maybe is asking, what's more important, gesture or anatomy?
What's more important?
Uh-huh.
My opinion on that is that's the wrong question to ask, or you just need to figure out what's important for you, for what your purpose is. Like, they're both important overall.
And they can be independent, which I think is an important thing. While you're learning.
While you're learning, it's more important to start with learning gesture. If that's what we're talking about, priorities, I would say prioritize learning gesture first. Because one, it's much easier to learn, so you can get results way faster by learning gesture. And also, gesture applies to so many more things than anatomy does.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you learn the anatomy of the human body, and it'll take you a few years to kind of get comfortable. And then you'll go to the zoo and you'll be like, oh, okay, I learned nothing. Right? Like I know nothing about anatomy because I'm drawing a zebra. You know, some of it carries over, but it's just like it's not much. Like, it's still very, very challenging to just like learn the human body and then go draw a zebra. But if you learn gesture of the human body and then you go and you draw a zebra and you try and capture the gesture of the zebra, you could totally do it. Much more of that can carry over. And so I would totally start with prioritizing learning gesture first. And then once you start learning anatomy, it will apply to everything, but also it'll apply to anatomy. One of the biggest problems when I was teaching the anatomy course, like almost every single assignment when I was doing critiques in there, I was pretty much telling everybody, like, yeah, your anatomy's stiff. Like, you just need to go back and learn gesture, because, you know, people will focus on the right shape that they learned from a diagram, right? Like a two-dimensional diagram or something. Mm-hmm. And they'll learn that, oh, the muscle starts here, it originates here, it attaches here, inserts here, and they'll just like focus on those accuracies instead of trying to capture the story of that pose. And it'll actually be just a distraction. And so I always tell people in there, like, yo, and it's a little bit too soon for anatomy right now if you can't handle the gesture portion of it.
Yeah. I think it's some of the fundamental skills. I think you build the technical things on top of those.
Yeah.
Because you need that foundational thing. Like, if you didn't know how to use your pencil at all yet, just because you have a conceptual idea of anatomy doesn't mean you'll be able to render it with your hand.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there's another here. Let me see if I can find this. Another one I think that we should get here in the beginning was Christoph Lee asking, how big are you drawing right now? And how big do you typically draw? How big is this, the sheet that you're currently drawing on?
This current one is like 12 by 18, I think. So here's a little mini ruler. This is a 6-inch ruler. So it's a little over 6 inches.
Yeah, and then we're zoomed in just a touch.
Yeah. I mean, a little over my hand size, I guess. Or I mean, a little under my hand size.
And man, they're all asking a lot of like foundational questions. This is great.
Yeah.
So actually, before we move away from this pose, because do you plan to move on to another anytime soon?
Yeah, real quick. I'm just gonna finish up the shadow mapping on this.
Go ahead and call out some things that you want to mention from this drawing before we do move on.
Before I move on. So when I'm doing shadow mapping, when I'm just like laying in the core shadows, I'm focused not on shading right now. I'm focused on the gesture and the anatomy. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing people kind of also get wrong, is they'll focus on the details when they're mapping in all these shapes that I just did. And instead, I'm trying to figure out the flow of these shadows and make sure it's going with the flow of the rest of the gesture, right? So like inserting a straight, this is straight. So this is reinforcing the curve of the arm, curving it a little bit this way. And it's based on not just the gesture, but also on what I'm seeing, obviously. Like, I'm not going to completely stray away from reality, but I'm exaggerating things to go towards the gesture rather than away from it.
Yeah, because
whether
even
it's
in
10%
here,
of that or
because it looks like for the pecs on the guy in particular, you kind of you streamlined those a little bit rather than
I
having it be that
did.
bubble shape.
Yeah, the bubble shape to me was breaking the flow too
Yeah.
much. And I kind of made it a little more vertical and flow into the body a little bit more. So yeah, that's a good catch there, Steven. I that specific shape I designed with the gesture.
Mhm.
And I went away from the anatomy. But it's not like I broke the anatomy, right?
No.
It's still like it looks like a pec.
Yeah, it just doesn't insert as hard.
Yeah. He's flexing it and it's kind of pulling that insertion up a little bit.
Yeah. I do like this one because this feels like a Steve Houston drawing because you got this focus on the arm there. That man loves his ropey arms.
Oh, that's true. It actually kind of looks like the one I have, huh?
Yeah.
Well, no, he's bending down. Yeah. He loves the side of the torso and like an arm going out real straight. You're talking about his boxer series, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys haven't gotten to see, we have a couple videos with Steve Houston on the channel, as well as, of course, of Steve Houston's now on YouTube or on Proko, right?
Yeah, he just launched one.
Yeah,
on there,
which is a thing that you can get for 20% off right now during the Proko Black Friday sale. You don't need to use a coupon code anymore, guys. It's just there. You'll just have a discount already.
Yeah, boy. All right.
If you want to move on to the next one,
I'll move on.
I want to give you a question to answer while you're drawing this one.
Oh,
so we have a question
so I have
from a
to
person.
Answer one question the whole time,
just for you to call stuff out as you work. Maybe?
Oh wait, one before that. Okay, so I just went in and I felt like the core shadow coming down here was a little bit too complicated. So I went through and I found a rhythm that connects multiple parts of this core shadow. So this going up, and then a rhythm flows through this empty pocket and connects back up into this lat. And then from there, it will continue up flowing through here into the shoulder. And then you can continue it into the head, like maybe the ear shape, right? Or the hair right here. I can continue that rhythm. So that's a rhythm. There's one line that connects multiple things. Cool. All right. Next.
Yeah. No, good specific call out here. All right. So what do we have next? I'm hoping that it fits this question. Maybe not.
Well, we'll ask the question because
this one might work. So this person was asking, I'm an art student with no access to nude models. So I'm limited to figure drawing practice from 2D references. How do I practice figure drawing from life/clothed models? Can you suggest exercises?
Well, I'm doing clothed models. Are you talking about clothed models that are like in front of you, like your family or something?
Yeah, so they were saying that no access to nude models, that would be live drawing with nude models. So they're asking, they're limited to figure drawing practice from 2D references. How do I practice figure drawing from live clothed models? And can you suggest exercises?
I mean, man, I hate saying it depends, but it's always the answer. So, like, if you're trying to learn anatomy, like I would say you're not going to learn it from clothed models. Right, like you're just not going to see the anatomy, so it's going to be like pretty much impossible. My suggestion there would be just learn from 2D images of nude models or of all people with underwear, like what I'm drawing here. It's not nude, but if there's something against nudity, then you could totally draw that, right? Like, you can learn anatomy from poses like this. There's no shortage of reference online of really great models. We literally have like 1,000 packs, and each of those has like 500 to 1,000 images in it. There's way too many photos available for you to ever get through.
And additionally, it's not even something that you necessarily have to just pay for. While we have a sale going right now on all of the reference packs and everything that we do have, if you go over to the URL that I have on screen, proko.com/timer, that's the tool that Stan is using. You can load in some of the free sample packs that we have and work off of those. Yeah.
The sample packs have like, each one has probably like 50 to 100 poses or something. I don't know, but there's plenty to start with. But I was assuming you're trying to learn anatomy or figure drawing, right? If you're just trying to learn like gesture or construction, you could totally draw learn that stuff from clothed people, right? Like gesture and structure is not just applied to a naked body. Like it applies to everything around you. You could learn gesture from, drawing trees. So
This is absolutely true. It's still,
yeah,
it's
I
all like you
prefer to
said.
teach it with anatomy or with figures because there's just so much more subtlety there, and it's much easier to judge if you did it correctly or not. Let's see, what should I focus on here?
So the thing that we had earlier was us saying that we were going to do gesture, anatomy, structure,
Yeah.
and shading in that order. Do you want to focus on anatomy then for this one?
Yeah, okay, fine. Let's do anatomy. So maybe I just did that side of the torso, so I don't want to. How about I'll do that left leg, his right leg. We'll just focus on that, just because I think it's a cool looking angle on that leg. So I'll start with like the hips up here. Where's the bottom of the screen? Oh gosh, cutting off that leg a lot. All right, there's the foot, and then the hips kind of.
I want to point out to you guys. This is what you should do at the beginning of your drawings. Like Stan identified the space that he has to work in.
Right.
He laid it out, and now he's going to work inside that space.
Hopefully. Hopefully I will. But yeah, I'm going to try my hardest. So from right here, you got that pelvic, that the ASIS, I don't know, anterior superior iliac spine, right? That's the bone right here. You can feel it on your hips, and a lot of things start from there. So there's a diagonal muscle, sartorius, that comes out this way, and it'll wrap around the quads and the knees. And so it's a nice rhythm to start with, and then wrap that around the knee. That's probably too. I'm probably making it too thick. Let's do this.
This is a good example.
Then continue that down all the way to the big toe.
I don't know if you guys, you've probably seen it happen in Proko videos before, but there's usually some sort of sound that Stan makes while drawing. And I think that's technically the best way to do it.
It helps with the gesture.
Ooh.
It reinforces it.
Ooh, okay. So there's a lot of people are dropping some good questions in here. We've also been graced by another fantastic artist presence in here besides Dorian Eaton. We've got Ben Eblin in the chat, yesterday's stream artist.
What are you doing here, Ben?
Wait, actually,
Ben.
Stan. Yeah, I was gonna say.
You look, Ben. When you get back here, I'm gonna have to punch you.
No, it's been great. We've Ben's been over in this way rather than being over in Australia recently, and it's been nice to have him here. Okay, so
what you guys saw how I started? I was finding the whole flow through the leg. So from here, over the knee, and then C curve through the shin, all the way to the big toe. I'm seeing a bunch of other bumps, but that's the flow. And if I don't capture that, the leg is just going to look way too stiff at the end. And you do one thing that I always want to make sure I do is just not make the joints too thick. I think when we're drawing a muscular dude, that tends to happen. You just feel like everything should be thicker. All right. What's that?
Like someone in the chat said, "How is Proko barely using an eraser as you used an eraser?"
Yep.
This is an interesting one because there's a challenge to this particular reference where the bottom of his leg, if this was a one-to-one entirely accurate drawing, I could see a person thinking that someone had missed the mark on the reference, thinking that they made it too chunky or that the bottom half of the leg was a little bit too stumpy.
Okay.
Like I could see someone choosing to elongate that or otherwise push and pull some of the shape design to make it feel a little bit more gestural. How do you kind of balance that for yourself?
Which part are you talking about?
On the leg that you're drawing right now, in the actual reference itself, because there's not that much definition showing the actual perspective on the foot into the ankle and then into the actual bottom part of the leg, I could see a person thinking that they basically messed up the drawing from the reference.
Oh, like this rhythm?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's just mileage. I know that it's not wrong.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I mean, yeah, you'll eventually get a better sense of the rhythms that go through the body and how they look as rhythms, and you'll just kind of be able to imagine them a little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah, this mileage. That's the only thing.
Just experience.
Yeah. Just getting a better visual vocabulary for how rhythms and anatomy look.
Mesley in the chat is losing their mind. They've asked like 10 different questions all around the same thing. They started with, why don't you measure with your pencil for accuracy?
Because I'm not trying to draw an accurate thing right now. This was a quick sketch. Yeah, that's I'm trying to capture the gesture and the kind of the flow of the whole thing. And so if I measure too much, I will usually stiffen it too much because you're going to be focused on like straight lines and measure, like getting things in the right spot instead of exaggerating the flow. And you just got to feel the flow. You can't measure the flow. But if I was doing a longer drawing, I could focus on both. Like I have enough time for both. And so I might start by measuring and kind of getting my major landmarks in the right spots, and then go through and add the flow between them and move them if I feel like I want to exaggerate them a little bit. But it doesn't, like you can't do both when you have such a limited amount of time. Measuring takes too long.
There's also, it's a further extension of what you had said, a farther extension of what you had said earlier.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, got you. An extension of what you had said earlier about it being situational. It really depends on what you're doing in that moment. You'll pull out a different measuring technique. You'll pull out a different, a different tool. Everything depends on what you're doing in that moment. There's not one set rule of art or one set group of art rules that you follow for every single thing forever.
Right.
We also have another legendary guest in here, a Proko classic with Ryan Benjamin in the chat.
No way.
Yeah, Ryan Benjamin, a man that if you guys have ever tried to email, you won't hear back from.
Oh no!
But if you have a live stream, he'll show up.
Call him out. It's like that.
This is not a critique. This is just an acknowledgement of that.
Is this something you tried to do recently?
not me. No, Ryan, it's good to see you, man. Okay.
Is he here? I can't hear him. Just kidding.
Well, Ryan in the room. Is Ryan Benjamin in the room right now?
He's here. One thing about legs and arms is that they're never symmetrical. You will not find any symmetry in them. So like, see how I found, actually messed this one up. As I call it out, I noticed I made a mistake. So this needs to be higher up than this one, right? So find a diagonal. So let's get that bad boy lower, like that. There you go. That looks a little more natural, right? So diagonal here in the bones. Even you see the little the way the quads connect to the knee. There's a little straight line right here, and then on this side it drops lower. Right? They don't connect at the same level on both sides. Right? The quad up here, the quad starts all the way over here, and it attaches to a little ligament. Oh. I can cheat. It's okay. The timer is really just there for a suggestion.
Like any reference.
Exactly.
I did want to point out a thing that you did earlier that I think a lot of people, they might get stuck in the idea of just doing these contours, these like lumps and bumps of everything. When you initially laid in this drawing, on the actual shin there, you had that movement to the shin that you see reflected in the shadow shape of the drawing,
Yeah.
and then you added the the muscle, like I guess inner muscle.
Yeah, you're talking about the rhythm right here?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was finding the gesture first.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what gesture drawing is about. Right?
Yes, it's not like at the end when you did that where you had that gesture go in there first and then added the inner muscle. It doesn't look funky. It looks appropriate to a person looking at it now, but you're able to lay in that gesture first by just focusing on that and then refining it afterwards.
Right.
Similarly, there was a person earlier. I don't have their name. I'm so sorry. Someone had asked if you can essentially, Lim and Lisa was the name. They said, can detail add to flow or stiffness?
Both. It depends on how you handle the details. You can have the details reinforce the gesture and the rhythms around that area, or you can have them go completely against it and break the flow. So it depends on how you handle it. That's why design is so important in drawings, because you can choose how you design each shape. You can change what you're seeing in reality to go with the decisions you made in the initial stages of the gesture. That's also why it's so important to establish the gesture in the beginning, so that you know what you're trying to reinforce with the details. If you start with the details, you probably don't have a good idea yet of what that rhythm is. See, it's hard to know what you're reinforcing.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna move on. So, but did you see how like this? I can't really see the shadows on here very well. They're super soft, but I reinforced that flow with the core shadow going down this way, right? Anyway, let's move on.
All right.
Um,
There's a question here about digital drawing that I do want to get in here because there's kind of a little bit of a tease maybe that we can mention for people.
that one that what? Okay, there you go. Dude, I don't want to get my channel banned.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for that, guys. The rules got tighter recently.
Yeah, geez, YouTube has gotten like this year. YouTube has gotten way more strict. Is it Zin Lim that they canceled?
Yeah, Zin Lim unfortunately had his channel just nuked during a live stream. A couple appeals. You guys can follow him on Instagram currently. Just Zin Lim.
And he was drawing a censored photo, right?
Yeah.
The photo was censored. It was not sexual at all, but it got nuked while he was streaming because the algorithm or whatever thought that it was too sexualized, and it wasn't.
He said it was sexually gratifying content. I mean, don't get me wrong. The drawing is good, but like, I didn't feel that kind of way about those pencil marks.
But that's the thing, is it wasn't sexually gratifying at all. It was a total classic pose. It's like this one. Is this sexually gratifying? Like, she's just kind of standing there looking, like obviously there for just like learning how to draw, not for anything naughty. So wait, what are we doing here? Definitely, it's hard to teach anatomy when it's so subtle, right? But it's there. It's mostly the rhythms. They're just all of the outer curves are kind of like compressed a little bit into a thinner form. And so all of that subtlety that you saw on the leg that I just drew is also there on her left leg. It's just like not as wavy, but you can exaggerate it in the same way, just mirrored, right? So so her, mirror this, and it's the same thing. You'll still find this rhythm going down, just much more subtle. And I think people who don't have as much experience kind of capturing those rhythms would look at this and stiffen it too much instead of pushing it towards that other one.
Okay, this will be a good example to come right after the other one.
Yeah, and actually, I'm gonna do a little bit different here. I'm gonna show how to exaggerate the gesture by thinking of the structure. Oh my god!
Structural gesture, gestural structure.
Yeah, and it's because gesture isn't just about those two-dimensional rhythm lines, like how we talked about earlier. You can establish gesture through form. The actual form can show gesture. And in this case, that's exactly what you need to do. or can do, I guess. The pose, the torso is kind of like, it's not straight up and down, but there's a diagonal and then there's just a straight going. She's not like tilting, she's not twisting. There's very little motion in the spine, right? That's what I'm trying to say. There's a little bit in the neck there. And most of the actual like interesting gesture going on is in the legs. That's where there's a little bit more curvature and stuff. But the torso could be a little too stiff if you don't think about the forms. And so what I'm going to do is think about the three-dimensional forms and try to push that a little bit. So I'm going to start with like a little diagram of what's going on in my head. And hold on, let me imagine it a little bit better before I draw it.
See it in your mind's eye.
See it. Yes, use the force. Okay. So I'm imagining like a very basic shape for the rib cage and the pelvis, and I'm trying to like tilt them in my head in the way I'm gonna see it, like the way I'm gonna draw them. And I'm thinking of like which planes of each I'm seeing. So you can always start that with like a bean if like starting with angles is too difficult.
For those viewers here right now who might not know the bean, what is the bean? What do you use it for?
I'm gonna show you. So the bean is just like some ovals where you can focus just on the relationship two-dimensionally at first. So you kind of place them like that, and then you find a center line, and I'm exaggerating this quite a bit. And then from there, you can think of it three-dimensionally, and you turn these ovals into boxes, right? Because now it's much easier to put a box here and a box here at these angles than to like start from nothing and try to draw a box in the right orientation and make them work together. You can, like, it's totally possible. Boxes are simple enough to do that. But if you struggle with that, it's easier to just go and start with the ovals first. So the rib cage, I'm going to exaggerate this quite a bit, guys. The rib cage, I'm going to push this way, so facing towards the right. The hips, I'm going to push this way, facing towards the left. And I'm going to tilt them a little bit. So the pelvis, we could see the top plane. And with the rib cage, we're going to see the bottom plane. And I'm drawing pretty light, you can see, so and like loose, so I could move things around as I figure it out. You can see how this is definitely an exaggeration, right? But this is what I mean where, design is important. You don't have to go with a pose that might feel a little bit boring to you. And this is not actually boring. It's actually kind of a cool pose. Like if she was just standing on the street, this would be like very dynamic.
She's being arrested. She's on the street.
But with style, she's like, yeah. Like put some clothes on her, some like a cape with some wind. Like that could be a very gestural pose. I'm kind of exaggerating here, but you could do the same thing I'm doing here with an actual boring pose. But you see how that is much more dynamic than what's happening on her. And the tendency for people when they draw this is to do the opposite of what I just did. Instead of pushing it towards what's happening there, they'll push it towards the middle. They'll do more of that diagram that they learned, and they'll make it even more boring than those they're seeing. And that's kind of the wrong approach there. Like you want to exaggerate what's interesting about it rather than what's boring about it.
I'd say this has been a great stream so far. You're just hitting all the wisdom, and I don't have to do anything. I'm just storing up questions for a little Q&A session later.
Imagine how much wisdom there is. Of course.
Just inside. Actually, mentioning the Drawing Basics course, I do have a comment from someone here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so Pencils and Stories said, I can't recommend Drawing Basics enough. but I feel like there's so many lessons I'll never catch up. Maybe I'm focusing too much on one lesson and I should just start moving faster through it. What do you think?
So some students have like opposing problems. Some focus on one lesson way too long to the point where they just like get stuck on it and they never move on. And that's a problem. Like, yeah, great. You want to get as good as possible, get as far as you can with each assignment and each lesson you're learning.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with that when you're learning art is that drawing, it's like a giant web of knowledge. It's not a linear thing. Everything is connected. And so sometimes if you're struggling with gesture, sometimes learning structure could actually help you with the gesture. So it's like it's better to learn a little bit about gesture, then a little bit about structure, then a little bit about proportions, and a little bit about anatomy, and a little bit about shading, and then come back to gesture. And then once you come back to gesture, all that stuff you learned will help you understand all the other stuff about gesture that you didn't understand the first time you went through it. So yeah, definitely move faster than too slow. But then the other side of the problem is people will just move through it way too quickly. They'll watch a lesson and then they'll think they got it just because they watched it, and they won't practice it enough. Right? They'll just kind of be like, "Oh, cool, yeah, I think I understand it," but then they don't actually put it into practice.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just move on, and that's not good. Obviously, that's the other side of the problem. So I don't know whoever asked the question. I don't know which side of that you're on. I definitely don't want to recommend that you rush through it.
Yeah, because maybe you need that wisdom, like you said.
Yeah, you definitely need to kind of go through and what do you call it? Change
Assess
it up.
for yourself.
Yeah, change it up. Keep it interesting. If you're getting bored with one as well, like move on. You're not gonna learn as well as if you just if you move on to something that you actually want to learn.
Another thing that I think is super important about specifically the drawing basics course is that you built in a path for people to go through it more than once. Like that's already directly in there. A person can be an absolute beginner and taking the drawing basics course, like they've never moved a pencil before. We'll teach them to sharpen a pencil, how to choose what paper they're going to use. But when they go through the whole thing, they can then loop back around because there's a second level of assignment for intermediate people as well. And that's not to say that someone who's already intermediate won't benefit from doing the actual like full beginner version of the lesson or the assignment. It's just that there's more than one path in there. The one thing that we didn't cover a thing at the beginning, Stan, that I think we should say. What you using? What's this paper? What's that pencil?
Oh, it's just cheap newsprint. This is a Conte pencil, 1710 Conte Pierre Noir. If you go to proko.com/materials, there's a video that I made about this exact combination. Oh, it's a kneaded eraser, newsprint, Conte.
Okay, now tell us about this lady.
So this one, I'm doing the same thing I did here. I started with the bean, but see how it's much more compressed, right? There's overlap. There's a lot more overlap with the bean. Here, there was no overlap at all. She's fully extended, and they're kind of separated. Here, that torso is leaning forward, and it's coming at us a lot more. We can even see like the top plane of the shoulders through here, right? This whole top plane. And so we have to compress that. That's the other, that's the kind of the tendency for most people in a pose like this is to bring it closer to vertical and instead exaggerate what makes it interesting. It's this overlap, this pushing of the perspective, the foreshortening that makes this one interesting. So push that. Always try to identify what is interesting and draw that, right? When you're drawing, you don't want to just be like, okay, what's happening? I'm going to draw that. No, you see what's happening, what's interesting. How do I exaggerate that? How do I capture what's interesting? There's too much to capture. So you have to identify that like important thing. And then also just like that, I'm going to move this up a little bit. That straight leg is really, important for this one. So if I take a plumb line, which is a vertical, perfect vertical, the heel is right here, aligns vertically right there.
Ben also replied, he said that was above the waist. I'll be seeing you Friday, and then a punch emoji. I think you've just been threatened.
But I stood up and I went like that. So sorry. We can punch each other if you want. Because the first one was above the waist. I'll give you that. Okay, let's capture the stability of that leg, but also not just make it like a straight vertical line. Let's see if I can do it.
I believe in you.
I don't know. I feel like it's not working right now.
I think seeing a person that is experienced not hit the mark on what they're doing is frankly just as important as seeing all the times that they freaking nailed it.
Yeah, that's just something we say to make us feel better.
No, I think how to fail successfully would be a viable, that would be a viable course.
How to fail successfully.
Actually, you know what? In all seriousness, I do think that might actually be, without having been directly acknowledged in the course structure, a pretty big part of Rembert's course that's on pre-sale right now. That someone actually called out in the chat. Yeah, because
the sketching course. Yeah, that makes sense. With sketching, that's actually a really important part of sketching. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something that if you're working, you can't just start drawing something and then go, it's trash, and then like rip out a page out of the thing. You work around it. You work with your mistakes. It's part of why people like Peter Han, Kim Jung-gi, and other artists who work just seemingly with no underdrawing ever, it's how they work. Yeah. It's that they incorporate those mistakes.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. If you guys want to hear more from Rembert about how to do that, he's going to be here on Friday streaming, just like this.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I wonder, is he coming into the office or is he streaming from somewhere else? I don't know. I should find out.
I think he's... Wait. Is he still in San Diego? No, he's not. No,
I mean, he lives like 2 hours away.
Yeah, but he's going to drive down all the way.
I don't know.
Just to do a stream. All right. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, well, I'm going to find out as soon as we finish this stream. I'm going to shoot that boy a text.
Yeah.
Charles Trion Trion, I don't know. You tell me. They were asking, where would you exaggerate a pose like this?
Kind of like what I was just talking about, where I compressed it a little bit more. There's so many rhythms to exaggerate. Like, look at what I just did with this foot. Like, that's an exaggeration, right? Like, this is flowing over. I'm not just drawing a straight line. I see more of a straight line than I just drew, but I totally want to capture this curve this way.
So in here, the gesture line that you've got there, I could see a person not seeing that as being the foot, but that is something that represents that foot that's touching just above the knee.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a foot. I just haven't added the whole thing in yet, but the knee would be up here, right? Kind of by the chest. And then from there, I'm trying to capture this rhythm. This is a foot. It's just kind of a blob shape of the foot. I don't want to capture the details yet. I just want to make sure the gesture is working. Yeah.
OM in the chat asked, will there be more info about the Bridgman course? That's a Watts production. That's just something that's
on pre-sale too.
Indeed, it's on pre-sale, and Jeff will also be here doing a live stream. I believe that's next week.
Yes, true. Yep, it's next Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, next Friday. So maybe you'll get some Jeff Stan conflicting ideas, because I think you'll be here during that stream, right?
I'll be here.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'll be in the stream. Am I in the stream?
No, not that I know of. But maybe you'll come through. You tell them this is bad drawing. This is terrible. You should change this.
Should I do that? Should just come in and draw?
all the Watts courses immediately get removed from the Proko platform.
Ay.
Oh damn! We got Erwin Papa in the chat. How's it going? Not an artist that I think you follow, Stan, personally.
Oh, don't tell him. Why are you calling everybody out today?
No, I think it's just not necessarily up your alley. But
too high
dude,
up.
how's it going? Good
Not
to
up my
have you.
alley. I love him.
You love Erwin Papa?
I love her. He's my daddy.
He's my papa.
He's my papa.
Yeah, no, there's some great people here.
Yeah. So I initially put that head up too high. Do you see that? That's what I'm talking about. I did the thing that I said everybody else would do. Right? Where I'm trying to like straighten the pose, right? Make everything more vertically stacked. Where instead there's a lot of overlap. So I put the head up here above the rib cage, above the shoulder. But it's like, no, that shoulder over here is overlapping the chin quite a bit. And so I have to put it down here, exaggerate it even a little bit. This is exaggerated, obviously, because there's more than this amount of distance from the chin to the knee. But I'm okay with the exaggeration. I was not okay with the stiffening of the pose. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, what's up with Papa? How's he doing?
I mean, I'm assuming good. He laughed in the chat. Oh, also, earlier Ryan had said he's posted something like, "Lol, I'm a busy guy," which is absolutely freaking true.
Oh yeah. So many projects going on.
Yeah, he's gonna do 1 million projects and hit the gym.
He doesn't work out. That's the crazy
That's
part.
just in him?
That's what he says.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, I think he used to, right? He used to be pretty athletic.
Oh, he's got like that sailor muscle kind of thing where he's just like 82, still looks like he's like pulling ships out of the water with his forearms only.
No, he'll look exactly the same when he is 82 for sure.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Joseph Vargas in the chat asked, how long will this live stream be up for? These will just stay forever. We have no reason to remove them.
That's right.
Every single live stream that we're doing for this busy month around our Black Friday sale, where you can save 20% off on all courses and tools on Proko.com, all of those live streams will be kept up the whole time.
Nice. You're telling me I could rewatch myself whenever I want?
You can't. I don't think you should. You have to deal with the proportions that you put on this drawing.
I know. I think I exaggerated too far. Right,
I do have, after this drawing, I was curious if you wanted to just take a few questions for a minute.
That's an interesting pose.
He's got this like super like line decker painting looking face.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking. It's so line decker. Oh,
he's just not wearing a suit.
Right. Sorry, what was your question?
After the pose that you were just working on with this lady, before you started a new one, do you want to just take a few questions?
Sure. While I change my piece of paper.
Yeah. So there was one question earlier. I think it was possibly Lemon Lisa, I think, or somebody earlier was asking why we don't see you draw digitally too much, or just saying that you don't draw digitally too much.
I draw it mostly just like for tutorials and stuff, but I enjoy traditional more. Personally, like I'm more comfortable with a physical pencil than a digital tool. Like better dexterity. Oh, Steven, can you put the?
You want this back?
Yeah, I just gotta align it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just enjoy holding a pencil.
Okay.
I also think it's just it's probably how most people should start learning how to draw. I think it's easier to transition from traditional to digital than the other way around. Mm-hmm. It's easier to practice daily if you have just like a sketchbook in your backpack or something. I mean, you could carry around an iPad nowadays, and that's probably just as easy.
Yeah. Well, the problem here is that like one of the biggest issues for you, I think, has always been that you did want what you experience with drawing traditionally, digitally, and none of the brush engines really give you that. But
is that where you're headed with this?
I am, yeah. Okay, but more recently,
your train of thought. Yeah. So I was talking to Lane Brown in a little Discord channel, and he's showing me his new brush pack update that he's working on, and I looked at it, and he's got a Proko pencil in there. That's like a charcoal brush. He's trying to replicate my line work with that I use with the Conte. And I was talking to him about it, how I could make it more close to mine, and it just kept growing and growing and growing, and now it's like a set of like 6 brushes. And it is so like his next update that's coming up is just so close to feeling like an actual pencil. I might actually start drawing digitally more because of it, but yeah, we'll see. I'm thinking I'm actually this is a question to everybody, like how so I'm almost done with the drawing basics course, right? Like we've got maybe a few more months on it. We're almost finished with the whole shading portion, the edges, and I'm trying to figure out like what's the next thing that I do. I'm not going to teach a course for a little bit, just because I want to marinate in the freedom for a little bit. But one of the things that I was brainstorming over the weekend was like a little workshop, like a 7-day workshop where it's live streams. It'll come with like an ebook or some pre-recorded lessons or like maybe like one pre-recorded demo to get people started, and then like a 3-hour workshop where I do a figure traditionally, and then the next day I'll do a similar thing, different pose, digitally, and I'll show everybody how to execute everything in both traditionally and digitally. It's still marinating in my head like what the whole thing should be, but like, do you guys want a quick workshop like that, or is that boring? Do you prefer me to just like make YouTube videos where I spend more time on them? What do you want?
I'm asking them in here. You guys get to help decide. Are you interested? And will you give me your email address so I can further notify you when it happens?
I mean, that's a joke.
yeah. No, but you should sign up for the newsletter, though.
Yeah. If you want to hear about this when it launches, you do. Yeah, you should.
So I do have a couple other questions if you want those.
Yes.
Okay. A couple people responded to the mention of Proko and a Discord. They were asking if we have a Discord. This is for instructors.
Yeah, we have a Discord for the instructors, just so we can communicate with all of them easier.
Yeah. But for students,
no, we have the Proko.com. We're trying to make the community there. It doesn't make sense to me, at least, to break up that. It's like, hey, we have this community on Proko.com, but we also are trying to get everybody over to Discord. Like, where are people going to communicate?
The other thing that comes up whenever anyone talks about using Proko or using Discord is that it's just a platform that we don't control, which sounds like we want like to do some like crazy thing, but it's more because of situations like you had recently where Discord got hacked. Everyone's like personal identification information that they had submitted because of UK rules and everything, that stuff all got leaked. Or a platform like Discord, Reddit, and other platforms like that, they've decided to go and take the user data that people have been like posting on that website for ages and sell that as training data for different developers out there. It's not a thing that we want to participate in. We just want you guys to learn. I don't think that any of us have a familiarity with how we would scrape the data off of Proko to then give and sell to any sort of developer out there as like a data set. So we don't really have that interest, So we like it being a safe place for you guys to be able to learn and share your work and get feedback on. Plus, Discord also isn't searchable. It sucks for that. When was the last time you went to go find a thing on Discord for all you guys out there? And you're like, what was that thing that person said about that movie I should watch 3 months ago? Like, good freaking luck, dude.
Yeah. I mean, we're building a lot of features for the website just to be native on there. Just because I feel like the student experience would be better if everything can be there. Mm-hmm. I just prefer to have control and be able to build on top of what exists. Just makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
Than to depend on another platform.
We got a 90% yes for what you said about wanting that 90%. Workshop. Yeah, 90% yes for 102 votes, which could have been way more votes. I understand that a lot of you guys are drawing along and everything.
So
But
I actually want to hear from that 10% that said no. What would you rather have me do?
Yeah, post that. Leave it in the comments here. We'll go over it. Kerr or Care in the chat asked a question that I'm actually going to kick down the road to our stream with Rembert on Friday. They asked, I'm having problems with sketching in public. It's hard for me to put it on paper. Are there any courses about that? I got such good news for you. Rembert's whole course typically is going to deal with things like that, if not directly about that. But there's a couple videos inside of that course that do have him actually drawing in public that were included with the course. So you guys should check that out. And then Friday will be Rembert actually live drawing. So he might be able to give you some live tips, even if you can't pick up a course, even though it's currently on pre-sale for 20% off.
Yeah, boy.
The funny dictator in the chat is just going off asking, when is the anime art course coming to Proko?
Anime?
Yeah, they've just been asking so many freaking times.
So
calm down.
We've been trying to find a teacher to do an anime course. It's kind of hard. The competition. The competition is. It's the same as anything else for choosing an instructor, right? Like you want someone who's good at the thing, but also a good teacher, right? Good at the thing, good teacher, somebody we can communicate with, so they should speak a little bit of English. I think it's not a requirement. That's like the lowest on the priorities, but hopefully they can. I mean, we could definitely create captions for English speakers, but it's just it's hard. A lot of the ones that are really, really good at it, they're working, doing it, right? And they're too busy to teach. So yeah, it's hard. If you guys got suggestions, I would love to hear them. Who should teach the Proko manga course, the anime?
Yeah.
Manga? Or wait, did they say anime or manga?
They said anime. I think it works for both.
So you want?
They are.
What do they mean? Do they want animation, or do they just want to learn the style?
I think it's the style. I think
Japanese,
that people often, when they bring this up, they mean both interchangeably.
I just want to make sure that I understand what they actually mean.
Yeah. Are you going to get us demonetized, Stan?
Dude, it's not my fault. It is my fault. I put that pack on the timer. I didn't know she had a transparent bra and a.
Yeah, this person said in the chat. This is Kesmer. They said TV Troy would be good, but I bet they're really busy. We agree.
Also, sign an exclusive contract with another platform, which shame on you, other platforms.
Yeah,
for making artists sign exclusive contracts.
Yeah, it's doo-doo. Jarrett Vandenberg in the chat asked a question that I think is incredibly pertinent. Thoughts on doing CGMA-like sessions where instructors give new student feedback for existing courses?
Hey, we've been talking to a lot of CGMA artists, the past few weeks after the whole CGMA shabacle. Is that the right word? Shabacle?
It's a word.
The debacle? Shabacle? What is that?
Debacle. Debacle. Shebang.
The
shebang debacle.
Yeah. Yeah. We've been talking to some. And yes, we are going to be doing live workshops for sure. The first one is actually Rembert. Like the sketching course that we were mentioning this whole time. It has a companion workshop. I think starts in January 31st, I think. But it's on pre-sale already, and it's a limit of 20 seats. I believe I checked last night. It's already sold 10 seats, so it's halfway there, and it's been like 4 days since we put it up on pre-sale. So if you do want that workshop seat, you definitely go check it out now. And that is our very first ever live workshop.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes with pre-recorded, like a full pre-recorded course. So you can buy just the course on its own. Or you could also add a workshop to it for does that make sense? A companion workshop?
Yeah.
That goes okay.
Yeah, because it's basically like you could take a course, or you could buy something that's like a book that you learn from, like let's say from Stephen Michael Hampton. It's great. The book is wonderful. But then if you could also additionally buy some like video call session or in-person session where he takes you through some of those lessons from it and you get to ask follow-up questions, that's great.
Yeah.
And that's basically what that is.
Yep.
So yeah, check that out. I have a link on screen here, and I also dropped that in the chat for you guys. But you can come back on Friday and ask Rembert some more about it.
Yeah.
I believe Rembert will be joined by Christian that day, who helped him build that whole course out.
Yeah, Christian produced the course. It's actually not a Proko original. I don't know if people understand the differences here. We produce some courses, like we'll work with an instructor to film and edit a course. We also have a lot of third-party instructors that create their own stuff and then they publish it to Proko. And Rembert's course is a thing where it was not produced by Proko, but it was produced by Christian, who used to work for Proko, and so he knows a lot about how we do things around here. And so he helped Rembert put it all together.
Yeah. I only have a couple different other ones that I want to hit here during this drawing, unless you want to talk about anything in particular that you've done.
This one's just interesting. It was more of like an anatomy study, right? So it's kind of like everything is stiff. Not stiff. The pose is very stiff. There's not much going on. He's not moving, right? He can stay there in that pose without moving for 20 minutes, right? His shoulders might get a little tired, but he's strong. He could hold those arms out like that. So it's not a pose in motion. It's static. But there's still a lot of rhythms in this pose. Like I'm trying to find, like, you know, from here, from the arm, you go up the deltoid, up this separation with deltoid and pec, over pit of the neck, down the other side, and over to the other arm, the other side of the arm. That's a rhythm that I was finding in here. There's also, because we're looking up at him, I was finding the rhythm of the bottom of the pecs right here. It's wrapping around the barrel of the chest, right? Like if you think of the chest as like this cylindrical barrel. And we're looking up at it, the pecs are going to wrap in that same direction, like this. And then even, did you see I even added a rhythm to the nipples. See, I connected it. Like literally, as I'm drawing details, I'm just thinking about the rhythm. I'm not thinking about the nipples. These are just like little rhythmical shapes that connect in this same arc.
Mm-hmm. They all serve to reinforce the form.
They do. And so, like, as I'm drawing everything in here, I'm trying to wrap everything around this cylinder.
What was the particular motivation for you giving the harder top to his actual shoulders?
Harder top, this?
Because in here, like in the actual reference itself, it's very rounded. Like that dude's got like dodgeballs on his shoulders.
So you're talking about just the top line?
Yeah, so you flatten it out, and then it seems like it's there to kind of like work with that clavicle as
so
a flat piece in your
I
piece.
actually straights. I think what you're seeing is, so right in here
is just the shadow kind of convincing that it
that
rounds.
There's a cast shadow right there that rounds it out, but it actually follows the clavicle right up to here.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, it could be just seeing it a little bit smaller.
Yeah. I mean, that's another rhythm, is like I'm exaggerating this straight through here. It's not as straight as I put it, like you're right. But I'm exaggerating that straightness because I feel like that is such a, like, if I compare that to an average, that's way more straight than the average. And so I'm pushing it a little bit more away from that. It's like, it's caricature.
Yeah. John BD Art asked, "What ref pose is this from?" Do you have?
Let me check.
Can you tell me who made this?
The great thing about the timer tool is you can click this little eye thing right here, and it tells you the name of the image if you download all the images. So it's number 71 from Male Physique Photo Reference. I don't know what it is, but you click this and it'll go to it. Oh, there it is. Male Physique Photo Reference Pack for Artists.
Yeah, so you guys can find more reference over at proko.com/tools. that you can pick up right now. That's all 20% off during the Black Friday sale. You can save
Yeah,
that
most of these-
on anything.
Most of the packs I'm drawing from right now are premium packs from other pack creators.
Mhm.
They just post them on Proko. Like they post like 25 new packs like every month. It's ridiculous. But yeah, once you buy any of them, they get, you can use them in the timer tool, or you can just download them. And like if you like a certain photo, you could just click the download button. It'll download that one image. What is this? Oh yeah, collapse. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's a few little updates to the timer tool.
Yeah, there's been some nice quality of life improvements.
Yeah.
We have a few people who keep asking repeated questions in the chat. I swear I see them. Calm down. Gia is very concerned. They're saying, I'm getting ready for an art exam for getting into university. What kind of practice should I do? Gia, I want to know some more. That's really nebulous.
Yeah, it's very generic.
Yeah, because like, so you said for getting into university, are you going for any particular type of study to do like 3D modeling? Is it a general art exam? Because they probably give you a little bit of information about the exam.
Yeah,
like,
I actually don't know what that even means. There's exams for art,
depending on the school. Yeah, some places they'll have a bare minimum. Some places they ask that you submit your sketchbook, like you had to deal with trying to. When you were going to school for animation.
Well, I never went to school for animation.
Yeah, but you submitted a sketchbook to try to. Correct?
I submitted. Well, yeah. When you apply for a college, like you send some stuff, but I didn't take like a test, like an exam.
Yeah. Some places I know for the school that I went to, we did a test kind of thing in the beginning and submitted some stuff, kind of more to know if you could skip some prereqs, rather than the idea of it just being like, will we let you in? Because my school, they just wanted your money. I mean, I'll be honest. They just needed to know if they could move you ahead in there.
Yeah.
One question.
One more. Sorry, before you move on to the question. So this arm, right? It's got that the straight, right? Not perfectly straight, but it's got really, really subtle C curve. But one way you could make it feel a little bit more interesting is with the shadow pattern. More butts. So like I kept the top, like the bicep, really straight, kind of parallel with that, because I feel like that's just part of it. But then right in here, I found an S curve. And I feel like that S curve makes that arm so much more interesting and dynamic. Because it cuts across. It's like a spiral going down the arm. That's it.
Okay, it's good. Yeah. I pulled a quote. There was something that you had said in there that I thought was really pertinent, so I put it on screen for everybody here. So yeah, take what you guys will from that wisdom there. Okay, so
anyway, I think
as a person asked, can you not pause the timer to stop it from changing? Yes, you can. That pause button right there works. It's just if it just goes back, it just restarts the 10-minute timer. So it's like a 10-minute pause button.
Yeah, I could press spacebar and it'll pause it. We have all these shortcut keys right here, right, for the keyboard shortcuts. If you guys use the timer tool and you didn't know, we did just add this the shortcut keys. So for example, if it's playing and I just want to add more time, I could press the up key and see how I'm adding time. I could just modify like that. I could press down to go to remove time. I could also go left and right. That's how I'm changing the poses. I could press like home to go back to the beginning, start the whole session all over again. There's a bunch of keyboard shortcuts in here, but you could read them all in there. But yeah, I could pause it. It's just I like seeing the timer. It keeps me moving when I see that it's like, I only have 2 minutes left, even though I know I could just go back and do it again. Just keep the timer going. Seeing 2 minutes counting down gives me a quicker pace. It's just like it's a suggestion to hurry up. Some nice
There's
shadows.
I was gonna say this one feels like maybe an anatomy one, or do you want to do just specifically shadow design? Shadow design isn't one that you mentioned.
This one?
Say again?
Steve Houston? You want to call Steve Houston to do this one? I feel like that serratus in there is like perfectly up his alley. Like he would destroy that pose.
Absolutely, without question.
Let's just look through some more.
This is the Steve Houston reference pack right now? Like what's happening?
So this session right now has like 8 different packs in it. And that's another thing with the timer tool is you can add whatever, any packs that you have access to, you can add any of them into your session and then select the amount of time you want and the amount of images that you want. Like right now, I think I chose 200. Yeah, see, we're on 66 of 200 because I set my session to have 200 images. Oh my God, I can't get away from it. Jesus. Getting demonetized.
I'm gonna get so much mileage out of this quote. This is great.
Of what? I don't know. Of what quote?
It's on screen over there.
More butts. Okay, what was the next question?
So the last question that I was going to ask you here was a person asking if you still enjoy drawing. They said, Stan, do you still enjoy drawing, or do you see it more as work? Do you draw a lot in your free time? Stan's a parent, so he doesn't have much free time, but the rest of the question.
No, I love drawing. There's some drawings that I'll do that feel like work because it's like maybe I have to do like some kind of diagram for a lesson, a video I'm making, and it's like not something I'm like excited about drawing. But when I'm just drawing people like this, where I get to like choose whatever reference and focus on whatever I want, I love it. Yeah, it's totally relaxing. It's still just as fun as when I started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you should be able to find that joy, even if it's something that you lose from time to time. Like, use it as exploration. It's this problem-solving thing that you get to do every time that you go to draw. Like, I understand,
naughty, right?
Say again?
Is this one too naughty? Can I draw?
No.
Okay, good.
No, the person's like pushing a car.
Yeah, but side butt is not like a thing, right? YouTube's not gonna.
I don't want to say confidently that it's not. You guys clip this. I don't think you can still do clips on YouTube anymore, but it'll be famous last words.
Yeah, side butt is okay, right?
What do you think you want to tackle with this one? What made you choose this one? Because I do have a request if you don't have something.
I like the gesture going down the torso and that back leg, and also stack core shadow. Okay, it's really cool. Yeah, there's a lot of like, look at all the little zigzags that pause at the hip. Right, you have a really strong, like forceful rhythm going down the core shadow of the leg, and then as soon as it gets up the hip, it like does a little zigzag, and so it kind of stops you right there, and it has like compression in that area because of those zigzags, and then it continues up the torso and it zigzags again through the serratus, and it swoops back up and around the armpit. I just feel like that's such a cool looking core shadow running down that entire body. Just makes me excited to draw.
This is perfect. The question, or the request rather, for subject matter that I was going to give you was going to be from Remote Ghost, who had asked, how do you create core shadows the way that you're doing right now during the shadow mapping phase? But they said,
how do you create core shadows?
Yeah, they said, but with a technical graphite pencil. I think it's more about pencil usage rather than like a hard tool limitation, because you can get many different markings out of a simple pencil.
Where's my sketchbook? I can just do this one in graphite if you want.
Oh my god.
What? Changing your pencils? Let's see. Bam. Look at that. Fits perfectly.
Yeah. It's like that was the size of sketchbook that was used in the last video that we recorded.
Oh, really? You didn't zoom in or zoom out or anything? You just kept it?
Yeah, I gave him.
I can tell because I can't even fit the newsprint in the shot. I had to keep moving up and down.
I zoomed in just a touch to get those clips out of the way. Just a touch.
Yeah, but then I can't fit the height.
Yeah. You gotta create your envelope.
All right, let's see. Is this dark enough? Definitely not. You guys cannot see that at all.
This is another typical problem for us when we're making videos. What goes into post-production for showing some of the tools is a little bit different than how you would make a drawing regularly. There's just some
That's the
specific
problem with
considerations.
graphite, though. It like I could see this so clearly, but it's like really light on the shot. And I'm gonna give me 30 seconds. I'm gonna wash my hand. Otherwise, this charcoal on this paper is just going to destroy. It's gonna.
You just make it into tone paper. So yeah, for those of you guys who aren't aware of why we're here, it's mostly because we have that sale going on right now. So across all of Proko, you can get pretty much anything that you've ever seen, course, a tool that's photo reference packs, brushes, anything like that, all for 20% off. Before, you used to have to put in a promo code, but now you don't have to anymore. Don't worry, you're getting that discount. I think that there were. Oh, you back already? I didn't think you'd be back there for that.
Baby, I have a sink right here.
I'm so proud of you.
To get it installed.
Oh, someone asked, who are you?
Story. It taps into the girls' bathroom right across the wall.
Does it really?
Yeah, we got permission from the
Yeah.
association. But yeah, the girls' bathroom is right against across or on the other side of this wall, and so we just like cut out the drywall, and the pipes were going through there, and we just like cut the pipe and connected it coming out. Yeah, so it's toilet water. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. Yeah, so that was a fun thing.
Someone had asked, who are you and what is the red hammer for? Is that for Proko? Is that hammer how you make him draw more? I think they mean my squeaky hammer back there.
Oh,
I've got this.
That's Mustache Man, right? Is that what they called you, or Mustache Guy?
Yeah. Someone just called me a handsome guy, which thank you so much. I'm very flattered. But no, then there's this hammer here. There's like a Ultraman, a Gundam, Tetsuo, or Kaneda's bike. No, the hammer is one of those squeaky hammers. If you guys play Smash Brothers, you've seen them before. And yes.
Subtlety. Oh God, I just want to start with the details, but I can't. Okay, I'm gonna start with the shoulder.
Okay.
So you have that horizontal, and then let's just get some really light rhythms. I don't know. You guys probably can't see what I just did, right?
There's a little bit. I can see mostly the horizontal line, and then the lower diagonal line.
Okay, so I will darken some things really soon, but I just need to establish some stuff first. I'm not going to go all the way down to the foot. I just want to focus on like the knee and up to the shoulder area.
So this will, okay, I see.
Yeah.
This is your question being answered, Remote Ghost. You better still freaking be here.
Yeah. So I'm kind of starting the same way. There's no difference here with the graphite or the charcoal. Like I'm just drawing, right? Same stuff. So
and right now you're doing like exclusively gesture and rhythms right now.
Exactly. So like there's the pelvis over here to the butt. And this probably comes down a little more before it starts to go out. And then this curves quite a bit.
So you're using
dark enough for you guys?
Yeah, that's good.
Great.
You the front of the calf to go back into, or like the front of the thigh to go into the back of the calf.
Exactly, but I'm not going to really go in there. But yes, if I would, this curve goes into the back of the calf, and then the front part is more of a straight. So you have a straight on the back of the top part of the leg, and then more of a straight on the front of the bottom part. But I'm going to kind of just stop at the knee. I don't want to focus my time there. I want to go here. And then from here, so you have a lot of bouncing going on. This is what I want to capture is a zigzag. It's really easy to just do this, right? Leg, head, right? Just oh, you guys cannot even see that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. if you want, if you're gonna, yeah, there you go.
Torso, leg, foot, right? Like this is the danger. That's danger zone. Do not do this. What we need to do instead is find zigzag bouncing across all these forms. So you have the apex here, this curve coming out, then it bounces diagonally up to the butt, the glutes. Then from there, bounces to the belly. So do you guys see this? The belly right here, the abs have a real nice curve like this. Oop, that's too high. Actually, I need to there, like this. You guys see that? So it bounces here to this curve. Then from there, it bounces up to the back. And none of them are aligned.
Yeah, like you could push a couple of these. Like you could technically go from that belly up through the serratus on the side into the shoulder, but you don't need to.
Are you talking about the serratus like in here, like all these rhythms?
Yeah, because there's like that
I'm
one that's
just
like just
talking
below
about
the
the
bra
silhouette.
line. Okay.
Oh yeah. No, once I start adding the details within, I will definitely think about all of these as well. But right now, I'm only talking about bouncing between the contour lines.
Okay.
Right? Because the danger is that snowman effect, where people do this sort of thing.
You get like
where
classic
it doesn't
muscle man
bounce.
bubble arms.
Yeah. Instead, they're horizontally across from each other. What we want to do is this instead, where it bounces, right? And that's more close to what's actually there. It's just that our brain wants to like flatten and organize into I don't know why. Hey, you guys know the psychology there? Like why does our brain want to do this when it's actually this?
Yeah, I don't know, because I know that there's definitely that like that propensity for the human brain to organize things into patterns, but that like the bouncing chain is as much a pattern as like that snowman bubble line.
Yeah.
You know, it's an interesting one.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, so let's see. Well, man, you guys are posting a bunch of freaking emoji reactions in the chat right now.
What are the emojis for?
We got 100 hearts, little confetti. I don't know. They're excited about something. Is it because you guys are excited and having a good time, or do you need more excitement in the drawing so you don't
They're
have
excited
time
about the Black Friday sale.
It's got to be it. What's the Black Friday sale, Dan? What's that?
I think we've mentioned it enough. 20% off of everything. Go get it. All right. So, but notice I also over here, instead of adding another curve for the rib cage, I'm pushing more of a straight, just because I feel like a straight will reinforce this curve more, right? Like if you do have like a some kind of form that is round, like the rib cage is round, and you do actually have apexes across from each other, what you could do is you can exaggerate a curve on one side and push a straight on the other side. And now look at what happened to this form. It looks like it's moving this way a little bit more. God, that is the messiest.
I'm not judging. They don't know. This stream goes out in 1080p, so they can't see it in as much detail as you can.
Yeah, boy. But do you guys see what I mean? Like a straight here and a curve here makes it feel more like it's going this way, even though this is not curving this way. You don't actually have to literally curve it. And you also don't have to make it literally a straight line. You can curve it out a little bit, but just not nearly as much as you curve this one out, and it'll still feel like overall the form is curving. All right. So let's see what we got.
Yeah, how much more of the construction of those contours do you think you have to do for this particular one?
Not much. I can jump right in now. So let's focus on this core shadow. So if I flip my pencil, so I want a straight here.
Someone pointed out in the chat they always forget to draw with their shoulder. I want to point out the way that Stan's drawing does have him rotating his whole body rather than just trying to do that all from the wrist and giving himself a repetitive stress injury. Good.
Oh, sorry. So core shadows with a graphite pencil, like if you're using the tip, what you could do is create like a gradation like that. I don't know if you guys can see that, but here, I'll do a bigger one. You can like create a few lines, and it'll suggest a softer edge, right? Because you don't want to create just a sharp line down the core shadow. Core shadows are like firm or soft based on the form they're on. So you can kind of think more of like a comic artist.
Like Ryan Benjamin, who was here earlier.
Yeah, but you
Not
do
drawing.
have value. Like if I was doing with ink, it's like I can't even control the value. Maybe a tiny bit, but like it's just all black lines. Here I can still control the value, and I can grade out from the edge and make it lighter and lighter. Okay, and then as I come in here, it gets firmer and then zigzags. So let's focus on that shape first. Zigzag, zigzag again. And I want to make sure I don't repeat the same zigzag. Like I'm changing the angle here, right? This one's like this, and then this one starts to get a little more horizontal. And then from there, I want to capture this motion back in. So very firm edge of the core shadow up the armpit. I'm going to skip over all the serratus and just kind of think rhythm through here, make sure those connect, and then I'll come back into the serratus. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just
There was a comment here from, I think this is Ksenia. They said this definitely helps us see that drawing isn't that fast even for the masters.
Depends on what you do. Yeah, it could be fast, but no, like details and anatomy, like you can't get through all that fast. There's some people like Jeff Watts that can like, man, he can indicate so much anatomy in 5 minutes. It's ridiculous. Like I don't think most people will ever be able to match that.
Do you think that's because of that mileage that you were talking about, just the experience?
Yeah, very specific mileage too. He's an instructor, right? So he has so much mileage demonstrating quick sketch because he was teaching like 8 classes per week where it's him just 3 hours, 3 times 8, just that many hours, like every week demonstrating, being put on the spot, and having to perform, and then going home and practicing more. Like he just has so much mileage, and that's over like 30 years now.
Well, John Doe in the chat said, well, yeah, Jeff spent like 70 years in quick sketching class.
70?
Yeah.
Actually, he started with Watts Atelier when he was like 19. So
jeez.
Yeah. So
now that he's 94, I mean, that's
yeah, exactly.
No, for that person that Stan's talking about who draws so quickly, that was his teacher, Jeff Watts.
Yep.
He'll be live streaming on the 14th, I believe. I believe that's Friday. If you guys want to see some things from him, he's the person who has that Bridgman course. That actually might be pretty useful to Trace Nelson in the chat, who was asking about learning from books. Their Bridgman course actually is specifically them going through one of Bridgman's books to talk, a book made about Bridgman, to talk about his knowledge and kind of decode the things that you can from drawings that maybe weren't made to specifically learn from. That might be kind of useful for you, Trace.
Yeah, I'm pushing this right here because you see how in the photo that it's more of like a curve.
Yeah,
I'm pushing a little bit of a stronger compression in there because in this pose, like the glutes would be flexed if I exaggerate it. So I'm exaggerating that.
I think it makes sense because the alternative also has it being very even, and so it doesn't imply that movement as much.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's a good choice. I've given my stamp of approval, Stan.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I don't know what I would do with myself.
I know. Nathan Seaman in the chat was asking, I'm trying to learn drawing,
Nathan
but I'm kind of
Seaman?
lost. Nathan, what?
What did you say?
Seam?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm trying to learn figure drawing, but I'm kind of lost after gesture. How should I progress from here? This is
Lost in the gesture. But wait, what is he okay with?
I'm trying to learn figure drawing, but I'm kind of lost after gesture. How should I progress from here?
Oh, after. He's not lost with gestures. After.
Yeah.
Okay, so next you're gonna have to learn structure. You're gonna have to start learning 3D. Get comfortable drawing a box from any angle. Can you tumble boxes from your imagination? That's really the next like big unlock. My basics course has a lot of exercises to get you comfortable with like intuitively drawing perspective, because a lot of people, when think of perspective, it's like, yeah, you got all of these vanishing points and you have to like map all the angles perfectly, and it just gets like super mathematical. But there's also just after you learn a little bit of that, just like for a month or two, you can start heading in more in the direction of just like intuitively being able to imagine the forms instead of being able to plot everything perfectly like a CAD program or something. So I suggest if you're doing more organic stuff like figures and creatures and that kind of thing, I suggest trying to do it intuitively, kind of like Kim Jong-gi did. You know, he imagined perspective really well. He didn't plot things out. And that will help you be able to solidify your gestural stuff. I think I'm done with this one, right? Like,
yeah. What do you want to point out here? Because you were pretty excited about some of these shadow shapes in the core.
yeah.
Like, what is it that you were excited about?
Design.
What do you think you hit?
I really just liked the design of this. I mean, I think I got it. Like, it's this whole zigzag in here, and then it continues. I liked it. It was a fun little experiment. Also just trying to figure out how to vary up the edge. So notice how like right in here, it's firm. It's a really small, like a very quick ending edge. As I go into the quad, you see how soft it gets? It's very wide as it transitions the gradation. And then it firms up again in the hip as it gets to the tensor fascial latte, the Starbucks muscle. You don't know about that one?
No, I remember. It's been a little bit since I thought about this.
Oh, while I draw it, I actually have to be sipping on my Starbucks.
Not actually Starbucks. Oh, it actually is Starbucks today. Whoa.
Wait, blur that.
Yeah, no, wait, bring it back up. Bring it back up.
Starbucks muscle.
There you go.
The tensor fascia latte brought to you by Starbucks. Not actually sponsored. Don't sue us, Starbucks, please.
No, Stan usually makes this stuff at home. I'm shocked.
Well,
in office, not at home.
Kimberly's not here today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it gets firm as it goes up this muscle, which is a very small muscle, and then really firm in here in the bones, right? And then softens up again as it gets to the oblique, goes up the serratus a little bit firmer. I could have indicated a little bit more information in here. Probably an additional zigzag, but whatever. And then it gets soft again and then firm again up in the armpit. So I'm not just drawing a shape. I'm transitioning from firm to soft, occasionally sharp, like a cast shadow right there would have been sharp.
For a person who isn't as familiar with edges because he didn't watch our recent video on edges,
just go watch the video.
It's just right there.
It's very new.
What would you say is most important about considering with edges? What do edges tell people?
Yeah, good question. It's the plane changes. Like, so, okay, well, anyway, get a good look at that. All done. Can you go full screen? Just get it. That doesn't help much. Anyway, whatever. So I'm going to switch back to charcoal just because I can indicate edges much faster with charcoal. This is going to be very quick. You can go, we don't need the reference. You can just go full screen on this bad boy.
All right, let's do this.
So if you have a cube beep, beep. You have a cube. And let's just focus on this edge right here. So this is a very sharp plane change. And so if I wanted to draw it from like this vantage point here, right, and I'm only seeing these two planes, right, I'm looking diagonally right onto this edge, I would see something like this, right? This is kind of like the vantage point, and I'm looking at this edge right here. I would see a very, very sharp edge right there if that was the core shadow. Like light here, this is shadow, very sharp. And I would indicate my core shadow going down that form as a very sharp edge. If I instead have a block like this,
You had fun on that one, I can tell.
yeah, it was fun. This is going to be a firm edge. I don't need to redraw it. I'm just going to do it right. This makes sense. So this is a firm edge on this core shadow, right? It's not going to be as sharp of a plane change. It's going to transition from shadow to light in a little quickly, but not as quick as the sharp one, right? And then over here, this is actually a sharp edge going down, right? So the same shape, this shadow shape right here, this dark, has a sharp edge here, a sharp edge here, a sharp edge here, and a firm edge here.
And what is the cause for this?
The planes change, and so the light. Oh, I see what you're trying to get at. Okay, so the light hits each plane. If we zoom in on those, there's a bunch of little planes. We could think of them as little planes, and the light hits this directly. So this is purely lit. Then this is a little bit darker. This is a little bit darker. This is much darker, and then this is shadow. Mm-hmm. And so it transitions from pure light to dark over a distance. Whereas here, it goes from light to shadow immediately at this one point, right? Okay. So then you have a soft edge, which is
so same shape.
Yeah, we'll just go with the same little kind of the same thing. But now we've rounded that corner out completely. It's very soft. And so right here, it goes pretty much vertical. So this is pure shadow, but then from there, that edge is going to soften until it gets to the vertical. Mm-hmm. And then from here down, it's pure shadow.
Yeah, so each of those things, the softness of that transition communicates how rounded it is.
Yes. And then on this side, still sharp, sharp, sharp.
Yeah. And can you show the drawing that you had done of the lady with the leg again, just to show that in practice?
Yeah. Where did I put it? Oh, I flipped the page. So this right here is a firmer edge, right? It ends much more suddenly, and it indicates a smaller form. It's a much sharper corner. It's not
because
purely
there's like bones and stuff like that, or like
no. This is a muscle. It's just a smaller cylinder.
Okay.
Just think of a small cylinder. This is a bigger cylinder, so it's a rounder. The planes change over a larger distance, and so it's going to be softer. And then once you get into the bones, that could be like thought of as a very, very sharp corner, because the bone is so sharp. And those typically are going to be very, very sharp edge or very firm. Same thing with the armpit. This is going to be going into like a tendon coming up here. And then in here, the roundness of the rib cage kind of starts to show through. So it gets rounder and softer. So anyway, yeah, changing up the edges. As I get down in here, we got bone again, tendons, all that stuff. So when you get towards the joints, you probably get more firm and more sharp. As you get towards the meatier areas like the quads, the tricep and bicep, the middle of those meaty parts, they're gonna typically be rounder and softer.
Mhm.
All right. How much time?
All right, we have 15 minutes left, so we can do one more drawing.
Okay. Oh God, what do we do? We gotta pick.
Well, what do you want? What do you want to do? Do you want to just like see what pops up and interests you?
Yeah, I just want to pick a good one. I don't know. I mean, they're all good. I feel like a lot of them are similar to stuff I've already done. Oh, that's interesting.
There's a long arm in there.
This one is the pose. It's like so.
Like the leg jutting forward.
It actually the hip. You see the hip on the left side?
On the other side? Yeah.
Yeah. It projects out. Like that's pretty cool. I wonder if I could just like not worry about proportions and just like stylize it.
Yeah. No, do the thing. Yeah. And do you think that I'm curious, from here, do you expect yourself to make the arm that's closer to camera go more vertical?
No,
it is?
it's probably gonna flow with the curve of that leg.
Okay.
You see the front leg that we're seeing? It kind of curves up around the hip, and then it connects to the neck and head. There's a C curve that goes from the knee all the way to up the neck and head. I'm gonna make the arm flow with that a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah. Heck yeah. Dumpy Yummy in the chat asked, "Can we please get some tips on how to polish your artwork?" Not in this one. That's not what this one's about.
Polish? Yeah, I don't know. This is about more of gesture and anatomy, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But don't get me wrong though. Oh wait. We're joined by Kyle T. Webster. Another
Webster.
There's so many awesome people in the chat today.
How's it going, Kyle?
Look at this. So Kyle says, always a treat to watch Monsieur Proko draw.
Monsieur.
Monsieur.
Oh my God. Is that Beauty and the Beast?
It could be. John Doe bringing up a very good point in the chat, asking, how did Proko keep a straight face hearing Dumpy Yummy? I also thought that was going to get you.
Dumpy Yummy. I don't even know. Like that doesn't do anything for me. What is that supposed to do?
It's just a funny collection of sounds.
It is.
Yeah. Like
It's
if I called someone like Scrumdumbalist, like it's recognized. It's not like a real name thing. It's just funny sounds.
It's not immature enough for me.
Okay, you like semen better earlier.
You got me. You got me.
And then the PEX E3000. This stream is going to be on archive to watch later. Yeah, every single stream that we do, which is many for this whole month during our Black Friday sale, all those streams are going to be available for you to watch in perpetuity forever. What do you think is the important place for you to start with this one?
I don't know.
You're just kind of finding it along the way.
Yeah. One thing I did though, I realized the shoulder placement is wrong. It's this one needs to be closer. And this one needs to be farther away. I'm starting with the head and I'm like trying to stylize the neck and head to be like super skinny.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like gonna push the way I stylize the rest of my shapes. So like, do you see how it's a little bit stylized there? I mean,
yeah.
It's pushed like 15%, but like much more triangular in here, pointy. I tried to make the neck a little bit thinner and longer, just a little bit.
Are you going to keep more of that guitar pick shape for the head still? Like it won't ever get.
I mean, if I go back in and I add details, I'll definitely add more like jaw and stuff. But right now, it's like I'm starting with those kinds of like skinny cylinders, pointy triangles. That's kind of like the design language I'm going for. Yeah.
Okay,
and,
that's fair.
Yeah, we'll see what comes out of it.
All right, this will be an interesting one. I like you going in and just stylizing.
Yeah, look at that. Let's see. So the torso, I definitely want to capture this like sweep this way. Whoop. And then from the neck, there's a rhythm. If I go from the neck right into this hip, it like jets out, and like it comes out the farthest out of anything. Like if I do a plumb line, yeah, it's
The measuring right
almost
there. It's like a
no.
thumbnail.
I'm not measuring. I'm just doing a plumb line.
It's a Proko
Yeah.
thumbnail right there, guys.
So the hand comes out farther, but other than that, see, I didn't push it enough. This needs to be here. There you go. Boom. Right there. It needs to come out farther than the head itself. Bam. Look at that. And then I'm not going to fit those legs, but it's okay. Really, the interesting part of this is you
like the hip leg interaction.
Yeah.
There was a question here from Steen Thomas. How do you deal with placing weight on legs, feet, and hip? In this situation, I don't think that we'll get to go over that one because
kind of
and on the page.
I can kind of talk about it. I mean, I could like raise it up and like tell you here, but like, if it's a static pose like this where it's balanced, it's not moving in a direction, like there's no inertia, right? That's the word.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna have to balance the weight on the heels, and it's gonna be like in something like this, it's gonna be pretty much directly below the center of mass, which is like the rib cage and the pit of the neck sort of thing, typically. Yeah. So the heel would need to drop a plumb line from right about here, and down is where the heels will be. That way, it'll feel balanced.
For this particular reference, it is a really interesting one. The way that it comes in and then balances, because it gives it this very flat kind of like spread squashed shape to the feet. Mm-hmm. Like it's a cool pose. I mean, maybe like the pose itself is interesting, but I think the angle of the photo is one of the things that drives this one so much. Yeah. This person in the chat who had asked the question about the weight for the feet and legs, they said that their name is Stan in Dutch. It's Stijn. So add that to your repertoire of Stan names and stuff.
Nah, sorry, that one's taken.
Only Steens.
Only Steens?
Yeah, like only Stans.
Are you giving away our joke?
They said it's pronounced Stan. It's pronounced Stan? My God. Listen, my name, if you read it literally, would be pronounced as Stephen instead of Steven, and I still think that's wild. Anyway, enough to my reaction to Swedish names.
Yeah.
So you had felt that you had the angle of the shoulders kind of incorrect in the beginning? Are you rolling with what you had before, or do you think that you counterbalanced that otherwise?
I already fixed it.
Okay. In the chat, David Bro gave something that I think is an interesting tidbit. Do you want that? David Bro. They said in animation, we use the chin as a reference for balance. If the chin is within the length of the feet, it will usually appear balanced.
But what if?
I think it's situational. I don't think that's like an always rule, the thing that they said, but a thing that they probably fall back on in certain situations.
It could be a night, like just like a typical, like a almost always sort of thing, but not really. I mean, you really have to balance out the mass, and most of the weight is in the torso, and so you could have somebody who's balancing out the torso and like projecting their head out in a direction, and it's gonna be like it's gonna be not within that heel at all. Mm-hmm. Maybe I misunderstood the way they're actually using.
No, I think that they said "yup" here, which I think is in response to me saying that it's a situational thing. It's just one of the tools in your arsenal, but it's a thing that you can consider as a balancing factor for an image.
Yeah.
Casey asked, "How often do you make streams?" Regularly. I think that we would do like one stream per month, 2 to 3 streams per month sometimes.
Well, you talking about me specifically, or just our channel?
The channel. I think for you, not too often at all. This is a special occasion.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do too many streams.
Yeah, which is nice. This one's been going really well. You're kind of killing it this time.
All right.
Yeah.
So I really like the rhythm from the two sides of the pelvis. It's just, I don't know, really cool looking. If you capture all these anatomical relationships, or not all of them, the ones that are interesting in the pose, you could really make you can exaggerate a pose to look really cool. I'm gonna go back to this darker pencil.
What is this pencil?
Oh, there's two different versions of the Conte. This one's an HB, this one's a B.
Mm.
It's just softer. It'll go darker quicker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there were any questions that we had stacked up before that I think would be super useful. They did ask some questions that I think might be good, but they won't necessarily be addressed in this. Here, I think you can answer this one casually during it. They had asked, what is one thing that you, Stan, have been working on learning after all these years? What's something you still struggle with and try to practice each day? What's an art goal you have?
Oh, jeez. I haven't been studying in the way that I studied when I was like in school. It's gonna be a tough one. It's more of the things I've been learning are more like how to create good videos, how to teach the concepts better. So just like solidifying the way I understand the concepts in order to explain them better. That's more of what I've been focusing on.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just different goals at different times.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm almost done with the basics course, and I do plan on taking a break from teaching a course for a little bit and like maybe just focusing on my art for a little bit, just so I could figure out that kind of, the answer to that question.
I mean, I like the notion of that kind of idea because, I mean, that, or we've talked about it, you're going to be making a lot of standalone videos rather than things that are extracted lessons from courses.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think I've made a standalone YouTube video since the basics course started.
Yeah, there were a couple lessons in there that I think were made to work better as standalone videos from the start. Like they would hit YouTube better than some of the other lessons, but by and large, I think the plan after this is for you to make those standalone lessons, and I'm excited. Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah. I actually ended up not stylizing this like at all.
No, I was gonna say
I didn't push it nearly as far as I
do think you did a thing that I don't think that you necessarily always do, like you had mentioned with the nipple earlier, but there at the hip bone, that one tiny little mark is a reinforcing of the gesture and the rhythm, but I don't think it's necessarily a thing that you always do with a long drawn out mark in this way.
Yeah. Oh well. I thought I was gonna be like an anime character. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I was trying to go more along the lines of like really triangular, like this in the torso and the waist, and then having this like jet out quite a bit. And I'm like really exaggerating here of what I had in my brain.
We're all watching you. You have to stylize this time.
Oh yeah. Look at that leg.
Like that we can hear the pencil marks right now. This is nice.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, there's like ASMR quality to it.
Well, this is I'm back to the scratchier pencil again.
Mm.
So it's a firmer pencil.
For live streams, we'll set up we'll change 3 things for live streams. We'll use a camera that immediately pushes everything all dark because we can swap out a camera, and then we'll add another shotgun mic that just goes straight towards the drawing surface. Get those sounds out of there. I think I said 3, but I only said 2. Don't quiz me. What do you think is the core of the stylization? Like you want it to be sharper.
Yeah, it's those zigzag triangles that I was trying to push, and I really didn't push them nearly as much. This is more of what I had in my brain when I was thinking about it, right? Like, see how many more triangles there are now?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a triangle shape of the group. This is a triangle in here. This goes up to triangle. This is a triangle. So that's kind of what I saw when I looked at it. I was like, oh, that's a cool pose.
Mm.
And then I just drew the real pose instead of this. This is the design.
It is an
I
interesting
started
one.
with it. Do you see how much quicker I laid that in because I focused just on the design? Here I went into and I just like focused on all the details and I missed the big picture that I had in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
So learn from my failures.
Yeah, I think it's a hard one to specifically draw while trying to explain the thing. You can get kind of like caught up in one aspect of it, or trying to like demonstrate something. It'll go slower. It won't work out exactly how you imagine it sometimes, but oh boy, when it does, chef's kiss.
Yeah, boy.
So here in this last couple minutes of this stream, I want to remind everybody that part of the reason that we're here is because there is a sale going on right now on Proko for Black Friday. It's not Black Friday, you ask, or you state. It's true. That's true. This sale goes through the whole month. It started at just the tail end of October, and it's the spooky promo. It goes through
Black
all
Friday
of November.
Changes every year. It gets longer.
Yeah,
every single year. So
yeah, it's one of the things that's come up a lot is that everyone who wants to buy something when we started the sale after actual Black Friday, they're like, no, I missed the sale. It's running for a whole month. You can't miss it.
Yeah, we have like 5 new courses that are launching. So
yeah,
we got plenty of things to buy. Don't worry.
Absolutely. Jack Foster in the chat bringing up a thing that I think that they brought up earlier. Will there be a Steven Zapata stream this month? He is not.
Yeah. No.
Do we have a Steven one?
Wait, I
didn't
thought.
think that
Can
we
you check
did.
the schedule?
Yeah, I'm checking right now. No matter what, Steven's streaming so freaking much on his own channel. Don't you worry, he's got you covered. I don't see one on here right now.
Oh, okay, never mind that.
In this month.
Nope, he's not.
But yeah, Steven's streaming so much. Steven is super active. He just put out a new video as well. He's definitely on that content grind. As far as will there be a schedule for some streams? Yes. So we put out a
sorry, dude.
No,
I have
good.
my page and I'm drawing on the page, but the thing isn't fitting it. There.
We have a schedule that we put out for all of this week across all of our socials, here on YouTube. You can find that for this week, and then next week, when another one comes up, we'll put that out as well. It's not because we want to keep them secret from you. It's just that some people, they change their dates. And so we don't want you to get really excited thinking that someone like Ryan Benjamin is going to do a live stream, and then he gets too busy doing a cover for somebody or whatever, and then he can't make a stream. So this is for your benefit.
Nice, okay.
Just like us having the sale go for so long.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that was like the thing I was trying to capture with it.
Heck yeah. I like seeing the two side by side. Peter Hunt stream when? Not right now. Peter, we did. So Peter actually, I got to catch up with him a little bit over at Lightbox, where he was drawing live. He's doing a little bit more content here and there, but I think he's still taking it a little bit easy on what he's doing on the internet right now. Yeah. Stan, what do you got to say to the people?
About what? What are you talking about?
I don't know. Your face is full screen right now.
All the pressure. I don't know. Thanks for joining. I hope I answered your questions. All your doubts are gone. If not, I have so much more to give behind the paywall.
Yeah, there's right now that course, the drawing basics one that got mentioned throughout this live stream, Stan's figure drawing course, the anatomy course, and many, many more are available for 20% off. If you guys want to learn from a structured course like that, please do. If you don't want to learn with something like that and you want to build your own kind of art school plan, that you should check out the Draftsman episodes on DIY Art School, where you can just learn for free. Build out your own plan.
The best series from Draftsman. It's like six episodes or something, talking about how you can recreate art school on your own. Like, what are the important elements and how you could recreate it as best as you can. Yeah, I think
it's a pretty important one. A lot of people they let that lapse. They think that just watching some YouTube videos will do it. Give yourself a real study plan. I think that's it. Do you want to go through what you made?
Yeah, we did this Muscle Man. We had using structure to focus on, to try to exaggerate gesture, not just thinking of it two-dimensionally. We have just like a leg and how to make it not feel stiff. Started with this, thinking of reinforcing gesture with like, or not reinforcing, but like kind of reinforcing gesture with the shadows, and making it interesting. I don't know if people could tell what that even is. This is the side of the torso. There's a head. There's an arm going out. And this, I don't know why it's in here, but this is an assignment I just finished for the basics course, where we invented core shadows on arms that are flatly lit. And I was showing everybody how to do that. Because all these shadows in here were invented from, like, it was an arm, but it was just kind of like taken with like a flash photo or something. It was like very, very flat. You don't see any shadows. And so it's like, how do you invent core shadows based on a light source you imagine? And with the forms you're seeing, there it is. And I did a bunch of demos on that.
Heck yeah, well done.
Yeah,
I like this.
Thank you everybody for joining. I'm gonna go eat lunch. I've been fasting. I'm at about 17 hours now.
Okay.
Yeah, almost 17.
And it wasn't by choice. It was just because Kimberly wasn't here.
No, it's by choice. I'm doing it all week just for fun.
Just figured stuff out.
Shits and giggles. So do like a 17-7 or an 18-6 fast, where you eat only within a 6-hour window. Just helps get rid of some of that belly fat, help you feel better. I felt way more energized. You said I was doing better in my live stream today, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Probably because I haven't eaten anything.
You don't have that peanut butter and jelly from the morning weighing you down.
Right. All I had was espresso shots, which, I don't know. How many calories are in an espresso?
I don't know. It can't be a ton.
It's like 2, right?
Yeah. it's all just fuel.
Yeah.
So just one last thing here. Tomorrow we'll have Sterling Hundley doing a live stream at 10 a.m. PDT or PT.
What's he focusing on? What's the stream about?
I'm not too sure, honestly, offhand. Let me see on the thumbnail here. Yeah.
Well, the thumbnail I think is just like his art. It's probably about creativity.
There's a title.
Right?
There's a title.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, there's a title for the stream.
What does it say? What's the title called?
I would tell you if the Proko, if the YouTube channel would load. I can't see right now. It looks like it's Creative Ideation with Sterling Hundley.
See, creativity. So if you struggle with creativity, Sterling is a good one for that.
Very much so. And then on Friday we'll have Rembert. He will be here a couple hours later in the day than that Sterling live stream. He'll be here at 12. So be here or don't. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys. See ya.